his way to the Nashville bench.
Yeah, he's bleeding like you read about too. He took that right in the mouth, right there, and it was the fingers and the end of the stick there, as Borowiecki and Malkin get a big whack in the pants right there. Borowiecki goes to push him back, but before he can do so, he takes it right in the mush, and his face is bleeding.
Not a great look there from Evgeni Malkin. This is Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, and gambling. I am Nick. Hello. It's good to see you. Evgeni Malkin suspended 4 games for cross-checking Borowiecki in the face in the Nashville Predators-Pittsburgh Penguins game. The NHL trying desperately to get those high cross-checks out of the game, and it's just not working. Cross-checking, weirdly, fighting has been good. A lot of players are protecting each other's heads when they go to the ground. Fighting has become very gentlemanly. The cross-checks have become dirty and awful. They got to start suspending people for like a long time. 4 games is a lot. Gino's been suspended plenty in his career, so that's his multi-time offender. I have a clip for you. This is from the Savannah Bananas, and if you don't know about the Savannah Bananas are like an unincorporated minor league team, and they just do a bunch of dances and weird shit. They don't really play baseball. They sort of play baseball. So here's a guy with a bat that's lit on fire. Let's watch this. Look at that. The bat is flaming. The bat is flaming. The stadium is packed, though. That's crazy. Does he get a hit? Come on, guys. Let's show the hit. He got it. Nice little base knock. Weird. That stadium is so full. I guess Savannah, Georgia is trying to get people in the seats, so they do weird dances. They wear skirts. They're a very strange situation there for the Savannah Bananas, but that was cool. Saw that clip. That was neato burrito. Adam Schefter apologized on a podcast for his ridiculous tweet about Dwayne Haskins. I called Adam a loser. It still stands. Like I don't take it back at all. It's unbelievable, man. It's right for him to apologize, but he's not, he is what he is. It wasn't a mistake that he's not going to not repeat. He just keeps doing stuff like that. Poor Adam Schefter. Also happening yesterday, this is really strange. So the 2020-21 league season will be the last year in which the Lakers pay a player named Luol Deng. Luol Deng played his NBA career in the 2010s mostly. He retired in 2019, but he was still on LA's payroll for years. They had to keep paying him. That's how it goes. There he is, Luol Deng. There is $5 million in this last year against the cap. That is so annoying and embarrassing. That's how it goes, though. I mean, he's got to retire. He's got to take care of his family. That's what you ought to be doing. Let's move over now to the NBA PlayIn Tournament. I discussed the PlayIn Tournament, the PlayIn games yesterday. Okay, so let's go through this again. Tonight we have 2 PlayIn games. The Cavs are playing the Nets, right? I believe, is it the Cavs that are a ridiculous amount below 500, or is it the Western Conference? Yeah, I think it's in the Western Conference, which is a game that we have coming up later. So there were traditionally 8 teams that made the playoffs in the NBA. Now 10 teams make the playoffs. However, the 7 and 8 teams play each other for the right to play the 2 seed, and the 9 and 10 teams play each other for the right to play the 1 seed. What the NBA has found out is that more basketball makes more money, ergo, let's have more games. However, it is completely irrelevant who the top 2 seeds play because for the most part, they're just unbeatable by those teams. They can only be beat by teams in the middle, and there are only a handful of teams that can really win the NBA title. That appears to be becoming less true as time goes on. There appears to be just a handful more parity in the association. So we've got games tonight. Let's go take a look at FanDuel. The games tonight, the Brooklyn Nets are favored by 8.5. I think they'll win by much more than that. The Timberwolves are favored by 3. I don't really have a take other than I love the Brooklyn Nets minus 8.5. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, when the lights shine brightest, they are really, really, really good. And they have a bunch of other role players. Seth Curry and James Johnson just eat up minutes, play some defense, make some shots. They're scary good. A lot of people think that they could win the whole thing. Let's go to NBA odds. I wanted to take a deeper look at some of the bets that are out there for the NBA. So, man, they have a lot of bets. Look at all these Sixers and Raptors bets. Dang. So the Sixers are favored to beat the Raptors. The Bucks are huge, enormous favorites to beat the Bulls. The Bucks are, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, the 3 seed. Golden State big favorites over the Nuggets. Mavs favorites over the Jazz. Weird. Interesting. So the Jazz are favorites over the Mavericks. Interesting. That flies in the face of all of my stuff. I always say that the team who has the better players usually win in the NBA. The Mavs have Luka. He can drop 40 on any given day. And as a result of that, he essentially always wins against a team that doesn't have a guy similar to him. Missed this over the weekend. The United States and the rest of the world who qualified for the World Cup in Qatar saw their group draws. So the U.S. drew an easy-ish group, sort of. The United States will be playing against England, Iran. Wait, is that true? Is it Iraq? I actually forget. Hold on. USA Soccer World Cup group. It's either Iraq or Iran, and I don't want to make that mistake, so I'm just going to make you guys Google it. The CONCACAF table. That's World Cup qualifying. Anyway, so the fourth person in their group is, I think, Ukraine or someone else. There's a last qualifier, like there's an at-large qualification. So each of the leagues in the sections, like Oceania, CONCACAF, which is the USA and Central America. Then there's the South American League. There's UEFA, which is, of course, the European League. So it could be Scotland, Wales, or Ukraine. To go with England, Iran, and the United States. So it's going to happen during football. I think the first game, and we're going to report this right now, the first game will be on November 25th, which I believe is the Friday after Thanksgiving, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is good. The United States plays Iran. No, because the first game is November 21st. Wait, what? That can't be good. November 21st, if the 25th is a Friday, that makes the 21st like a Monday? This is great content. I don't care. You're going to listen. So I knew that they were playing on the Black Friday. 21st is a Monday. What time does that game kick off? Let's go. We're at the Athletic right now. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Monday afternoon. The United States is going to play the winner of the European playoff, which will be Ukraine, Wales, or Scotland. In a weird way, I don't want it to be Ukraine. I do want Ukraine to make the World Cup, and they deserve to make the World Cup. But the look that Ukraine versus the USA and Ukraine versus England will have on the international stage as there's a war going on that England and the United States can't send ground troops to is going to be bad. That'll be bad. So, but also Scotland and Wales that's in the United Kingdom, and they're good. So don't want to deal with that. Definitely don't want to deal with that. The USA plays England also on 2 p.m. That's on Black Friday. And then a couple days later, I believe on, off the top of my head, Tuesday or Wednesday, the USA will take on Iran. That's also at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe when Fox News got the rights, the plan was to give the game to Gus Johnson. And Gus Johnson was the guy that famously said that Chris Johnson had run from the cops' speed. You can Google that. Can pull that up one of these days. It was one of the funnier things that's ever been said on television. Not something you should probably say, but Gus did, and it was funny. But most people wanted to see Gus Johnson. It didn't really work out for Gus Johnson, and as a result of that, they're still trying to figure out who's on the call, I believe. It hasn't quite been figured out. I know that the USA Soccer is not exactly super excited about the partnership with Fox, other than the money. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I would like to see Gus Johnson because when Gus was on March Madness and he was yelling and stuff, his stuff for football doesn't really work as well, but for soccer it will. It's just pure adrenaline for 90 minutes, and Gus Johnson, he's really, really good at just like making things intense. Like really, really intense, which is international soccer is all about. So I would love to see Gus Johnson on the call there. And we'll get you out of here on this quick one on a Tuesday. Playing games tonight, as you'll recall. Keenan Allen throwing shade at people. I love it. He's just these NFL players with Twitter are just starting to point out how dumb sports media is, and I'm about it. The fact that I keep getting put on this post, which the post he's talking about is the most underrated players in the NFL, lets everybody know that it's for clickbait. 100 catches, 1,000 yards the past 5 years, five straight Pro Bowls. To follow up, check your top 5 list and see if they have done the same. Stop creating perspective and show the facts. He's saying, I'm not underrated, bruh. I'm in the Pro Bowl. I'm one of the best receivers in the National Football League, which is true. He's like, this list is stupid. Y'all are dumb. This is boring. He's calling out the sports media complex. Also calling out the sports media complex, Garrett Cole pitched like garbage in the first inning of his first start for the Yankees, and he said it was because of the pregame ceremony. Quote, the festivities got a little away from the schedule. The game was scheduled for 1:08 p.m. Instead, the first pitch happened at 1:12 p.m. Those 4 minutes ruined Garrett Cole's day. It's going to be a great season watching the Yankees crash and burn. That'll do it for this episode of Interesting to See. I'll be back and better than ever tomorrow.